Hey guys, back in the office today, and daily update for today. We're going to be talking about storyboarding, which is an area that a whole bunch of people have been asking about over the last couple of months, and an area which is pretty close to me because I think it's a really, in a way, a dangerous area of filmmaking. There are some real risks to using storyboarding, but there's also some massive benefits. It's quite a controversial area, so we're going to be covering it in a little bit of detail tonight, which is cool. First off, people are probably going to be going, what's the problem with storyboarding? The issue with storyboarding is that it forces people to think in 2D, and unless you're really, really good at always thinking about the depth of the shot, it can lead you to making a movie which is more like theatre with a camera pointed at it, where you have everything happening in front of you and you're just looking straight at it to tell the story. It generally does wonders for people's ability to tell stories, which is fine, but it's difficult. When you're a kid and you're in like primary school, they make you sit down and write a story like Mary went to the shop, no, and it's not an artistic way of writing. You learn that much later, and you learn poetry and you learn narrative. The same is true with filmmaking. If you need to get past that step where you're just telling a story with a picture, and you need to tell a story with some poetry to it. You need to tell a story with a little bit of class, a little bit of style. Prime example of that is, well, Spielberg, genius. So storyboarding, on the one hand, it's brilliant because it allows you to be really organised and it allows you to plan your story out visually before you do it. On the other hand, you've really got to watch that you're not just drawing the pictures that make the story go forwards. Now, here's a couple of examples. I've mislaid a set of storyboards I did, which has really annoyed me because it's a really good example of how not to do it. They're lovely images, and I got I got really into like trying to make these fantastic images. And there's a famous storyboard artist, I can't remember his name, stupidly. He's the guy that did all the storyboarding for Ridley Scott on stuff like Gladiator. And he said, if it's a drawing that you wouldn't hang on your wall at the end of the day and be proud of, then it's not worth doing. I totally disagree with that. It might be controversial, but I spent ages sat down and I had all those awesome pens, you get like the graphic pens that like wash ink on, and I was doing these lovely images and trying to work with the light and all this kind of stuff, and spending about like an hour or 2 hours per frame, and coming out with some really nice images that I was really proud of. Great. The problem is it's not an economic way of doing it, because if you're anything like me, the people that are going to see these images, the purpose of drawing these is not so that you can sell them, it's not so that you can publish them in a book afterwards. The reason you're doing these storyboards is that so you and the people closest to you in your crew can understand what the next setup is, what the point of it is, bang, and you can go and get that in the can. Spending 2 hours per frame is no way to do it. So I spoke to a few artist friends of mine, and they forced me to sit down there with a pen and a piece of A4 paper, and they're like, we've got 2 storyboards on there, you've got 4 minutes, go. And literally timing, like, and you've got to sketch it out. And you really do learn, I mean it takes a little while, but you learn to get the point across with a really basic image. So I'm going to show you through a couple. The thing that you've really got to lose here, if you're anything like me and you're a perfectionist, is it doesn't matter if it looks nice. The point is, does it tell the story? And actually, you find after a while that after drawing a whole bunch of crap images, you eventually get to a place where actually you kind of develop a new style. So I'm going to see if I can find a couple of decent ones here. Now this is a stack of storyboards. This is for one of our reshoots. This is a stack, and this is 130 boards. So it's 2 per page on A4. Not measured out the 16:9 or the 235. You just, it's a rectangle. That's what's important. It doesn't matter. And you go through and you tell your story. So I'm going to see if I can move the mic around here and show you exactly what I'm doing. Excuse the mess. So here, bang. Character has fallen down. There's somebody stood here at the side of her. We then cut to mid-shot. In fact, in reality, this ended up as a tilt to show this person firing back into the crowd. You then get the reverse on zombies dying, so it's just sketchy and quick. You then get POV, or from the direction of the zombies, running towards these 3 guys as they're firing back into the crowd. You then have character lifting up the one who fell down, and again this is 2 minutes per board. Got little arrows at the side here to indicate we're then panning up with them as the action is happening. We've then got POV again, over the shoulder, firing back into the crowd of zombies. Now a lot of these drawings are difficult to decode if you don't know my drawing style, but that's kind of irrelevant, because if you're in my crew, you learn my drawing style, and it's what works quickly and it's what's effective, and it allows you to move, as Robert Rodriguez would say, at the speed of thought. It's something that allows you to draw. Here you go, like they're running away from the crowd of zombies that are running up towards them. You've got the wall in the distance here. It allows you to move at the speed of thought, which means here's an idea, whack. The story is happening, I'm drawing it as it's happening. Looking over shoulder back towards the crowd of zombies. Bang. One of the zombies has just been nailed by one of the 50 cal guns up on top of the wall. Reaction shot. Oh my god. So on and so forth. Oh god, we may have just done a little bit of a spoiler there. So that's enough of that scene. So you see my point. It's nice, it's quick, it's dirty. It doesn't matter if it's a sexy image. What matters is that you're getting that story across, and that you can sit there down as a director or as a storyboard artist if you're working with a storyboard artist, and you can have the film play in your head and you can sketch through. And there's nothing more satisfying than sitting down and a couple of hours later having a stack of 150 images that you've just hand drawn.